What's up, traders? Zach here from the Trading Network. I hope you guys are doing well. It is a late Sunday evening, and I've got another weekly market profile forecast for you for both the ES and NQ futures markets. So let us waste no time and dive right in here. Going to start off with the NQ session profile, then we'll move on over to the weekly, and then we will discuss ES as well. Going to try to keep it pretty short, as very similar to last week, where our main focus is first and foremost moving into Monday's regular trading hours session is going to be to look for acceptance or see whether we get accepted or rejected from Friday's profile. So major areas that I'm going to be looking at moving into tomorrow morning's session is, first of all, the value area low on both ES and NQ. On NQ, the value area low is sitting at 11,058. So I will be looking for us to get either accepted back into value, which if we do, then that is going to increase the probability significantly of us moving up to this 11,110 level, and acceptance back above the point of control from Friday at 11,110 will likely open up a large move back up to around 11,2. So you can see that we have a prior naked point of control around 11.2, and about 30 points above that, we have the value area high from Friday as well. So generally, I am going to be looking for, first and foremost, a move above 58, and then a move to 110 or a test of 110. And keep in mind, if we don't get up to 110 and we reject below Friday's POC, that is going to be pretty bearish. So move back above 110, again, opens up a larger move back into this prior naked POC, the initial balance low, which is 11,204, and then the value area high at 11,230. And if we do not get accepted back into Friday's value or back above Friday's POC at 110, then I will, of course, be looking for this to be a pretty important area of resistance. We could even draw a little zone between Friday's low at 11,043 and the value area low there at 58. And you can see our current overnight high is at 11,082, but we have quite a bit of time to fill the rest of this overnight session out. So it's going to be very interesting to see where we end up tomorrow morning pre-market and for the open. So let us move into the NQ weekly profile here. I will make sure that you guys can see these levels nicely. I'm just going to show you that we are right here at 11,047. Let me make sure that I have my price line here so it is clear. 1 second. All right, so I just wanted to pull up the price line to give you guys a little bit more context here. So this yellow line is where we are currently operating, and you can see we are right by the last 2 weeks weekly regular trading hours lows. So that is 1124 and 1139. Very, very tight here. So this is going to be an important zone to hold. And if we do not hold this zone, it is very likely that we see move down to prior levels from 2020, as we discussed previously in my last weekly market profile video. So I will pop over here real quick and just show you guys what I'm talking about. So I have this little zone marked off. The major area that I'm going to be looking at is about 10,700, 10,750-ish, and that is this wick low here. You can see from September of 2020. And if we break that, it could get pretty darn ugly. We have some confluence here from the February 2020 highs with the 377 EMA on the weekly chart, which is what we are looking at right here. This is the NQ weekly. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more context there. But if we can hold the lows from the prior 2 weeks, again, it's going to open up some larger moves to the upside. You can see that we have the value area low from the week of September 26th at 11,124, and we have the value area low from last week at 11,254, and those are going to be the most major areas that I will be looking at moving forward into the week if we do get some upside acceptance. You can also see that we have a high volume node here at 11.1K on the monthly volume composite. So what I have over here is essentially a volume profile that shows us a composite for the last month's price action. So just to reiterate here, this 11,024 to 1140 zone, call it, that's going to be a major area to hold. If we do hold that, look for a move back up to 11,125, likely 11,2 like we just discussed, which was the value area high, 11,230 to be precise. And before that, we also have the initial balance low from Friday at 11,204. So you can see this 11,230 level is actually matching up quite nicely with this weekly low from September 19th. So that is going to be another major level that you guys can look at, target, etc. if we do get acceptance back into Friday's value between 11,058 and 11,230. So quite a wide value area there. But we've got some major levels to look for and some great opportunity for targets if we do, hold this area tomorrow and proceed to get some acceptance back into value. Remains to be seen at the current time though. So on the downside, just to reiterate one more time before we move on over to ES, if we do not get accepted back into last week's range and we get rejected from that 11,024 area, look for a larger move, possibly about 300 points lower, down to 10.7, 10.750. So with that said, let's pop on over to the ES session profile and we will dig in a little bit. So you guys can see, as usual, NQ and ES very similar as far as the structure goes. So same situation, going to be looking at the value area low from Friday at 36.50 even. If we can get acceptance back into value from Friday, I will look for a move probably to 36.60-ish first and foremost. You can see if I zoom out a little bit, we've got some more profile levels here. So if you wanted, another level in between, you can look at 36.54, which is the POC from the September 30th regular trading hour session. And then 36.70 is Friday's value area, or I'm sorry, initial balance low, and then the POC from Friday at 36.7750. Now, acceptance above this little zone here between 67 and 70 increases significantly the probability of, another 7 points higher to tap POC. And you guys know the deal. If we can move and hold above 36.7750, then we are very likely to get a retest of Friday's value area high. And we could even draw another zone between Friday's value area high and the Thursday into Friday overnight low at 3,700. Call that a psychological level if you want. I'm not really into those as much as I am paying attention to the market profile areas and these zones that these market profile levels create. But, even numbers are something to pay attention to regardless. So on the downside, I will show you guys a similar situation here on the ES weekly chart. So that's what we are looking at here. And if we do not hold this, we've got the weekly 200 simple moving average. That's this white level right here, 35.63. So we could be looking for a move down there first and foremost. And you can see that there's some good confluence with this wick high from all the way back in, let's see, this is September 4th, it looks like. The September 4th weekly candle. And the top of that is at 35.45, so just a bit below that 200 simple moving average. And if we break that, we could be going a little bit lower to this 3,400 level. I'll be looking at this area right here. And obviously, we got a ways down. That's about 200 points on ES, which is not a small move, but it is certainly not out of the question. So keep an eye on those levels to the downside. Call it 34.70. 35.45 and 35.65-ish, which is right around that 200 simple on the weekly. So going back over to the profile, you guys can see once again, these are our most important line in the sand levels moving forward into tomorrow. 36.50, the value area low, 36.67, or this zone between 67 and 70. And then if we move and hold above the 77 POC from Friday, I'd be looking for a move back to this 5-point zone here between 36.95 and 3,700. Now let's move over to the weekly profile on ES. Similar situation that we were just looking at on NQ, of course, but we are back into value from the September 26th weekly profile, but we are still below value from last week. So the value area low on our weekly profile from last week is 36.82. Acceptance above that, in my opinion, likely to fill in this little regular trading hours gap on the weekly that we have. Call it a liquidity void, and there are even single prints on the weekly, which means that price did not spend very much time there. And just wanted to show you guys here that we had an open test drive on both ES and NQ. So that means that price opens, it moves up, tests a level, which is actually the value area low on the volume profile from that Thursday into Friday overnight session. We could not get accepted above that level and we got pushed down. So when we move into, or when we have single prints, I'll say it like this, we are likely to gravitate back towards that area and do business there and fill that profile in, or that liquidity void in that earlier profile in. So I'll just show you guys real quick on NQ. We've got the same situation. We've got single prints. We actually couldn't even get to the value area or the volume value area low on that overnight session. So that is going to be an important area to look at if you want another important zone. On NQ, it's basically going to be from 11,280 all the way up to 11,350, call it. And on ES, we could even increase this back up to Friday's high at 37.17. So keep that in mind as well, that we have single prints at the top of Friday's profile, and likely, or it is likely that price gravitates towards there if we do get acceptance back into value. So on the upside, from a weekly perspective on ES, I will be looking for acceptance, of course, back into value above 36.82 on a weekly. And of course, we've got to move back into value first on the session profile at 36.50-ish. So 36.50 likely opens up a move to 36.70. And if we get accepted above this little zone once again, then that opens up a move to 36.77, which is right below the value area low on the weekly profile. So some good confluence there. So keep an eye on those levels moving forward. That's what I will be looking at. And right now, you know, of course, it's difficult to say. We have to see how price opens. We have to see what kind of profile structure we get upon the open to give us some high probability setups. But this is likely going to be a pretty volatile week. We are very likely to have immense opportunity at or around these levels. And on the downside a little bit, you can see that we have also a little zone here between the current overnight POC and Friday's low, which is between 36.3250 and 36.3675. Of course, this point of control can and probably will move throughout the evening. So I just wanted to point that out for anybody that is, you know, either trading the overnight or London session and watching this content. So with all that said, if you guys enjoy what you see and you like the content and you take value from what I post here on YouTube, please feel free to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below as well with some feedback or any questions that you have about the analysis or anything that I discuss here in our videos. If you guys would like to learn more about what we do here at the Trading Network, definitely check out our website, thetradingnetwork.io, where you can join our private Discord group where we live stream our trading every day, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also purchase access to the Trading Network Proprietary Indicator Package, the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, as well as one-on-one mentorship with me. This is entirely customized to the trader, and we meet 5 days a week on Zoom for the entirety of the program, whichever program you pick. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching this content and being a part of the Trading Network, and I will see you in the next video.